Class of 2017, good morning and congratulations. I'd like to start by thanking President Charlotte Borst, the Board of Trustees, and all members of the College of Idaho administration. I'd also like to thank the college faculty, professors, and parents. This really wouldn't be possible without you. Finally, I'd like to thank the weather. I've been to 3 C of I graduations now, and this is the first time that it hasn't stormed. I think I'd agree that this class deserves something special. Before I really get started, though, I'm going to tell you a secret. I am actually completely terrified right now. Fear is a way of manifesting itself differently for people, so maybe for you, that means shaky hands or sweaty palms. For me, I can tell you that I'm very thankful for this podium to hide the fact that my knees are basically giving each other bruises. And I hope you can't notice that my teeth chatter, even though the snowpocalypse is thankfully far behind us and hopefully never coming back. Instead of trying to hide the fact that I'm so nervous right now, I'm actually going to tell you all about it. Because fear has been something very central to my college experience. But hopefully, I can explain to you why that isn't a bad thing, but rather something that I'm very grateful for. Specifically, fear has played an incredibly important role in teaching me about 3 things, which are community, opportunity, and purpose. First of all, the decision to come to C of I in the first place wasn't a very scary one for me. I'm from Boise, so I always knew that my parents were just 30 minutes away if I needed them to fix my car or drive me to doctor's appointments or really do any kind of adult thing. However, I know that it wasn't that way for many of you. Maybe you're from a different state or even a different country. Maybe you came to school here only to find a language or culture completely different from the one that you grew up in. Maybe you just went to high school right down the street, but you're the first in your family to go to college. And all of these things are much scarier than what I experienced. But look at you now. After millions of tests and assignments and late Wednesday nights studying at the Goose, you made it. And that's something that you should be very, very proud of. No matter what path you took to get here, this school and this community were made better by the new perspectives and ideas that only you could have brought. In fact, the concept of community is one of the single most important things that I have learned in my time here. Even from that somewhat awkward freshman trip to McCall, so much effort is put in to make sure that students here never really feel alone. At C of I, a sense of community is something that we are so lucky to have. This year I had the opportunity to do a lot of traveling looking at graduate schools, and I tell people that I went to a school of about 1,000 students. At first they'd look at me kind of weird and someone would say, "Yeah, I guess that's pretty small for a class size." And then I'd have to awkwardly explain to them, no, that's literally everyone at the whole school. And then I'd spend the rest of the time getting suspicious glances, like maybe I didn't actually go to real school. I think we can agree that C of I is a real school. And while small size is unique and definitely does allow you to become very close with your classmates, I really don't think that's all that makes this school special. Despite our size, we are incredibly diverse. We have an amazing international population and students of all different backgrounds. Furthermore, we have some of the best educators that I know I will ever have in my life, and I think that most of you probably feel the same. One of the scariest parts of joining a new community, though, is the concept of identity. For many of us, college was a chance to redefine ourselves, and I don't think that any of us are the same person that we were 4 years ago. I know that freshman Hailey wouldn't recognize the person standing in front of you today. Realizing that, I think it's incredibly clear that so much of who we are is shaped by the people in our lives. Whether you found those people in athletics, or Greek life, or clubs, or residence halls, I hope that you met people that made you change the way you think of family. That maybe family doesn't necessarily have to be related by blood. Here, there are no shortage of people who care, and when it's 2 a.m. and for whatever reason you need help, you always know that you can call a teammate, roommate, choir friend, fraternity brother, whoever your person happens to be. And when that fails, campus safety will never let you down. And a trip to Betos always makes everything better. So today, thank your real family for being here, but don't forget to thank your other families too. That note brings me to my second main point, which is how thankful I am that I found people who gave me the courage to pursue the opportunities that this school has given me again and again, to be scared and to be afraid and to be uncomfortable. I'd like each of you to think about a time when you were so nervous that you thought the world might end, but somehow it didn't. For me, 2 specific memories come to mind. The first was my very first college softball at bat my freshman year, which took place in the last inning in the pouring rain with 2 outs and the tying run on third and the winning run on second. The second was my senior piano recital this past fall, where somehow an hour of memorized music was somehow supposed to come out of hands that I couldn't even make stop shaking. One of those was a complete failure, and the other one was one of the proudest moments of my life. But I'm not going to tell you which was which. What I will tell you is that I made it, and I'm still here, and the world didn't end, and no matter how scared you are that you're going to fall on your face when you walk across this stage in the next hour, I promise that you'll still be here too. So whether we're talking about professors, coaches, or mentors, the way that I've come to see it is that we've been surrounded by people who push us just far enough to work hard and be independent, but will always be there to stop the crash and burn. Maybe it's come close a couple of times, but we should be so thankful that we have people who believe in us and who don't just give us the answers, but rather give us the room to grow and find them for ourselves, who have taught us to appreciate a challenge and develop the kind of skills and confidence that you just can't write on a resume. Whether you presented research at the SRC, participated in choir concerts or the art show, or even just stood up for something that you believed was right, you demonstrated that the most important lessons weren't learned in a classroom in Boone or in Strayhorn, but are tested in times of fear. I won't lie and say that fear didn't stop me from doing anything. There's a reason that I wasn't crazy enough to pursue a double major or strip for the Finney Fun Run. But I hope that the times that made you afraid were some of your greatest moments, and I hope that you continue to scare yourself. So finally, when it comes to purpose, I think that what we are most afraid of also reveals the things that are most important to us. I've talked a lot about small-scale fear, like the fear of striking out or the fear of meeting your freshman roommate on move-in day. But there are also much bigger concerns that I might not ever understand. I don't know what it's like to be a refugee, to be untethered from a sense of home. I don't know the fear of facing a family member with a serious illness. I don't know what it means to be afraid of society's reaction to the way that I choose to express my gender or sexuality. I do know that the past year has been a scary one for a lot of people, and I've been afraid for many of the people that I love and care about, even if I can't comprehend everything that they might be going through. As serious as that is, though, I truly believe that at this school we've been given the tools to find the courage to start those conversations. No matter the source, fear isn't something that anyone should have to face alone. I'm tired of pretending that fear is a sign of weakness, and I'm standing up here telling you that this is one of the scariest moments of my life in the hopes that you'll think about what scares you most in this world, and that you'll have the courage to talk about it and maybe one day do something to change it. So maybe you're afraid for the state of our environment, for the rate of climate change. Maybe you're afraid for the treatment of women across the globe. Maybe war or politics or corporatization make you angry. And really, the list could go on forever and ever. But the fact that we are afraid shows more than anything that these things matter, that we matter, and that we care. Everyone who's gotten us here today, professors, parents, coaches, and college staff, have taught us to act with compassion and selflessness, and we owe it to them to take our fear and to do something about it, to choose what matters most to us, and to confront it with a sense of purpose. Maybe you already know what fear you want to go out and tackle first, and that is amazing. But maybe you're scared because you have absolutely no idea what you want to do, and that's kind of amazing too. I do want to leave you with one more thing though. I've clearly been doing a lot of thinking about what it means to be afraid, and one night I started thinking about the difference between being fearless and being brave, and I would argue that they're not even close to the same thing. Fearlessness is either easy or a lie. It's acting with disregard for the outcome, and therefore not caring and not being scared, or it's hiding what you're truly afraid of. Bravery, on the other hand, necessitates the presence of fear. You can't be brave without first being afraid, but comes with the ability to face it and act anyways. I'd like to thank this school and all of you as my classmates and friends for giving me the chance to be the best kind of afraid, because I really believe that being brave together is the most important lesson we could have ever learned. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.